Nope, 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 nope.
One to a million. There's so many different reasons why I like you. Let's keep this going. We can change it up if we want to. Keep me guessing, keep me guessing. Keep me guessing, keep me guessing. It's like ooh la la, ooh la la. It's not hard to say how I feel. It's like ooh la la, ooh la la. It's kinda easy now cause it's real. Hey. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello everybody. How are you? It's good to be here. Sorry about that. I was a little. Yes. Yay. It's great to be here. It's good to see everyone here. Linda and Tamara. Yay. It's nice to be back in the saddle here with stories and art. I'm not quite straight in the middle of my scene, but oh well. Let's see if I can fix that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh well. I think it'll be fine. Nope, I'll just leave it. Just leave it. So, it is Sunday evening, and it has actually been the crazy day today here in the Pacific Northwest. We started out with horrendous rain this morning, just rain and pigs and chickens. And from there, it was, whoa, there goes my microphone dropping down. Oh, come on, don't drop. Don't drop. No need to drop. Oh, it's going to drop. Oh, well. Anyway, I'll hold it up. Anyway, it was raining like crazy, and although it's not feeling real good, yeah, we think he's gonna. We're taking him to the vet tomorrow. After the trip, he may have gotten a tick, not a bad kind, but a kind that also just is not is making him feel kind of lethargic. So he's going back in tomorrow, and so we were watching him pretty closely. And then Bob went off to go do grocery shopping, and finally it stopped raining, and he got back, and although decided he'd go outside for a little minute or two, which was yay, he was wanted to do that. And then I was working on this stuff today, and then the wind came up, and it's been the craziest wind all day, just whipping around in all different directions. Couldn't tell what was going to happen next. And now it's still windy, but it's kind of cleared up out there, and it's going to be a gorgeous sunset. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I am feeling much better, Tamara. Thank you very much. The cough is almost completely gone. There's a little bit of clagginess every once in a while, but I have my water here, and getting rested up. I don't look too closely over there and see the mess that I haven't cleaned up yet from returning from camping, and yeah, so, but that's okay. It's just been a good day. A good day. Didn't do much art today, but I did. I edited um, briefly edited 3 photos from the trip to show you guys during show and tell tonight. And I pulled Tamara's work in, I pulled Susan's work in, and let's see. I don't. So whoever's if I didn't see anything from Lupe, and I haven't checked the email since. Well, I'm not going to try to check email right now. I'll pull it in next week if somebody sent something in the last few minutes because, yeah, that's I yeah my capacity for on the go right now is a little bit. Hey, there's Randall. When I start feeling sick, it starts with my allergies. Yeah, fortunately, Randall, I don't have allergies. I don't. I respond to a switch in humidity sometimes, probably from growing up in Eastern Washington, where it was always so definite seasons. Um, and I didn't. Although when we were on the camping trip, okay, I'll revise that. I reacted to something. There was some place that we were that had bugs and mosquitoes and stuff that was coming in. So we had these stickers, these mosquito repellent type things that we could stick up all over the place. You could either put them on your skin or else we put them up around the inside of the camper. And I put them all around one night, the first night, and a bunch of them when it was heavy. And I sat down, and Bob went off to go. I don't know what he went to take Aldo for a walk or went to go do something. I can't remember whether he was and I started to sneeze. And I swear to God, I must have sneezed like 15 times in a row. And I normally don't because when I sneeze, it's a big thing. It kept sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. And I finally realized that I was sitting kind of close to one of those patches. So I moved it farther away from me and the sneezing slowed down. So I got to the point where I had to sit quite a ways away from them. I couldn't have them right by me. They were great at killing bugs, but they made me sneeze like a crazy person. Yay. Anyway, so it is good to be back, and it is good. The cedar, when the wind blows, affects everyone here in Central Texas. Oh, noses are plugged. Nice. Well, yeah, cedar. Yeah, I'd have a hard time if I was allergic to cedar because we got a lot of them in the Northwest, all over the place. Any kind of evergreen trees. Yeah, I'd be in a world of hurt if I was allergic to maple trees, or any kind of evergreen trees, or tamaracks, cedars, all those kinds of soup, anything like that. It's crazy, but I digress. Anyway, the salt cedars did that to me too. So I wonder, Tamara, you're in Australia. So what down there causes people to have allergy type reactions? For me, it wasn't usually, we never even considered it really allergies because usually it was something like, okay, when they start watching on the big screen, yeah, I had a feeling Lupe was watching on the big screen. Lupe, hi. One of the things that appear that you get used to is when harvest happens. So, and it may be different things because the harvest is happening all the way from the spring when the apricot cherries and stuff start all the way through, which apple harvest is still going on over in Eastern Washington. But somewhere right before I left and I was over at my sister's, they were harvesting hops. And I tell you, that kicks up a bunch of stuff. When they're, because you got the dirt in the fields, you got the hops pulling down, you got everything. It's the craziness. And then it settles down and everybody's fine. It's just, I think it's more, for me, it's more the stuff kicking up into your face. Anybody would sneeze if you had somebody threw dirt in your face all the time. Anyway, that's my philosophy. Anyway, so tonight we have show and tell and we have a story. And one of our favorite characters is back for tonight's story. Yes, Bruce is back, Bruce the bear. And it's just that's why I had to make that little video for him, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. But before we get there, let's start with All right. So Susan, I don't think maybe she's lurking and watching on the big screen. She sent these in, and let me change this to camera B so I can look down and see what I'm saying. Um, this is she says is a 12 by I'm showing them backwards. Okay. This is the first one. So she says it's a work in progress. The background started as the sky. Then she flipped it and saw the sea. So the title is Tree in the Sea. And not sure if she'll add another thing. I rather like the non-realistic aspect. Let the imagination fill in the blanks. So this is step 1 that she had. Then step 2, she flipped it and started to see this. And then step 3 is her final. Look at the shading that she got in there in that tree. Susan, this is great. I really like this one. Really do a lot. It's super, super nice. I love the fact that you flipped it and saw the sea like that and that's so much of what it takes sometimes seeing what's hidden in plain sight. Good job, Susan. Yay! Okay, then hang on, let me see if I can find Tamara's here. Here's Tamara's. First one. All right. So Tamara, let me open her email to me because this was a long email that there we go. Got it. And this is the one she sent early on. So when I was just started on the trip, she said, um, I'm in love with these pieces. There's so much emotion in them for me. They make me teary. The paper collage pieces are about Gaia and her rebirthing and giving birth to life on this beautiful planet. And then she has another new series called Kami. Kami is Japanese, are the deities, divinities, and spirits, mythological, spiritual, or natural phenomena that are venerated in the traditional Shinto religion. So we'll get to the Kami in just a second, I think. Okay, and the Kami can be elements of the landscape, forces of nature, beings, and qualities that these beings express, and the spirits venerated dead people. Many Kami are considered the ancient ancestors of entire clans. Okay. Traditionally, great leaders like the emperor could or would become Kami. So she's got the first one, and here we go. This one, let me move her email over here so I can read it. Is the on acrylic on canvas. Oh, the Kami's not. We'll get there. This is paper collage made from a pizza box, not pasted yet. Yeah. And both of them are works in progress. And then the paper collage made from the inside of the Drake's paper shopping bag. I love these. I just love these figures that you do and the imagination that you have with them. Okay. Then the next one is another one of those that this is the one I believe you had both of these. That's right. And this is where you had pasted them down or had laid them out and pasted them. Yes. And then this is the one that your final pasting of that one. I love the shadow underneath it. I just think that they're so wonderful. And then the next part here. Okay, the next piece I'm going to show you is when is from her new series called The Kami of Eden. And this piece is acrylic on canvas. Linda helped her name the piece, although she doesn't know it yet. Oh, Linda. All right. Linda, did you know that? You helped her name this next piece, which is right here coming up. Let me get my back up. And I keep having to hide these. There it is. This one. This is so gorgeous. So that was what she sent to me, what Tamara sent just before just after I left on my trip on the 14th. So this is our first chance to get to see it. And then just yesterday, she sent this. And it is, again, this is the set of 1 and 2 of the Kami of Eden. And I'm not been able to sign them yet. I did these at the same time and finished them in 3 days. No collage in sight. No collage in sight. That's yay. Oh my gosh. No collage. That's oh my gosh. But look at for those of us who have you guys who have been around and have seen these, we've watched the evolution of Tamara's art in these and what she's put out. In these 2 pieces, we see so many of her figures come together. The figure of the woman and the child sitting on the bench, the bird, the rabbit. Oh my gosh. I think there's a turtle's head, a tortoise, the dove. All of these. They're acrylic paint on small canvases. They have come up looking a couple of shades darker than they are, and the yellow is more green. I don't know why the green didn't show itself. Maybe it's shy. Bear in the middle. Where's the bear? Okay. Where is the bear? See the bird there. For me not to see a bear, that's like crazy. Where's the bear? You see the face? Oh, there's the bear. I see him now. Oh. It's almost like hidden in the behind the rabbit's eyes, the bunny's eye. Oh my gosh. Tamara, I tell you, anyone, I know I would be proud to display these on their wall at any time. Your work is just so phenomenal. So phenomenal. Yeah. It's there. Thanks you guys for yes, it's a bear. Okay. Found it. All right. So next we have me. There's nothing there. Let me first show you. Okay. So this is hang on. Devil's Tower. So, whoa, why is that like that? Hey, come on. Don't be rotated like that. I'll flip myself around to the right way. There we go. All right. Hang on. There we go. So what was it? We went to Glacier, then we went to Yellowstone, and the next spot we were in Devil's Tower. And at Devil's Tower, right outside of the gate to the national park is a KOA campground. And it's on or adjacent to a ranch called Camp Stool Ranch. And the family that homesteaded it 200 years ago has been there forever, and they expanded and expanded and expanded. And they originally called it Camp Stool Ranch because Devil's Tower has a tendency to look like a camp stool. So at the KOA, though, they ran a a hayride throughout the ranch. And so you got to go beneath and around Devil's Tower and hear about how the ranch has been there and what happened when the grandma of the family got a knock on her door, front door one day in the 70s. And there was a gentleman outside her door named Steven Spielberg who asked if he could film a little movie on her ranch because they wouldn't let him film in the national park. So, Close Encounters of the Third Kind came about. And so grandma took her portion of the proceeds from the camp, from the film, and it joined the KOA group and expanded the campground area. And they've made it into quite the experience. So they show the movie every night uh, at the at that the campground is open, and they take these hay rides. Uh, they have a wonderful storyteller who leads the hay rides, who talks about the legend of how Devil's Tower came to be, and this is probably. And then from our campsite at night, we were actually able to see the lights of the people, of the climbers who climb Devil's Tower at night, like crazy people. Um, but so this is not the greatest shot that I had, but I pulled out one because I wanted to do, because I'm on a hayride, jumping or rumbling around trying to take a photo in the dark, kind of twilight area. So that's what you get. So that was Devil's Tower. Then one of the next things at Devil's Tower was this guy. So was this one right? This was in the park, right? When you come in and you're driving up, there's a whole like field of groundhogs, prairie dogs, and they're just. I saw them in several places, but this was one of my favorites that he was kind enough to pose for me to some degree. But there were these great mounds all over the place that the groundhogs um, have all out there, and they're a real essential part to the reestablishment of the Great Plains. That's wherein the bison were being reintroduced. They also brought the groundhogs back in because they actually move a lot of the soil and ground it up, what the bison bite down and chew up and stomp on. The prairie dogs come in and mix it all up, and they're a complete symbiotic relationship between the bison and the prairie dogs. But they were pretty cool. It was fun to watch them all over the place. I saw them here and I saw them at the Badlands. And then the last picture I brought out for you is just a hint at one of the infrareds that I did. This one was in, I wrote it down, Council Bluffs, Iowa. And this is now a Union Pacific Railroad museum, but it originally was a Carnegie Library in Council Bluffs, Iowa, which is kind of on the river that splits between Iowa and Nebraska, I think it is. It's the next one over. I can't remember. Molina was the next town. Anyway, so this building, I think, is see, it says up at the top, Free Public Library. Was one of the more beautifully restored and preserved examples of the Carnegie Library. You'll see typical were the arches at the doors, the columns, and then the square windows. But the dental work in the eaves and the grand staircase, which is over here on the that was the side entrance. The grand staircase would have been over here in front of these columns on the right side. But Andrew Carnegie may not have been the best person, but what he did for establishing libraries and in across the country and for helping them it was pretty amazing in the 1900s, early 1900s. Of the 1700 that he funded, 700 are still working libraries, and a lot more are still either museums like this is, or art centers, or some other kind of preserved, the historic center for a little town. They go in sizes from this huge piece that is taking up half of the city block to these little tiny houses that were libraries in little towns. And it was so this was when we came back. This was part of my thing, was my project that I'm working on of photographing Carnegie libraries and putting that together. This is done in infrared. That's why the green grass and the green trees are white. What I found was what amazing things that infrared will do with woodwork too is pretty cool. So yeah, infrared does make things pop, and it's really kind of a fun thing to do with architecture. So I got kind of geeky on that. So that was the other thing that I did. Yay! So Randall said he saw his first prairie dog 2 years ago in Colorado Springs and Durango area. Mule deer, prairie dogs, rabbits, all types of birds, and elk. Had a wonderful time 2 years ago. I didn't make it to Colorado this time. We kind of wanted to. We were going to um, cut down at Cheyenne and go in to Colorado for a little bit and then come back up at Laramie, Wyoming, and go over to Evanston. But that's about the time I started to get sick. And that was about the time that Bob also noticed on the weather that there was a huge shift in weather coming in, and a weather system coming in that is the one that dumped all the flash floods on Phoenix, but was also hitting Colorado and the Southern Rockies and moving its way north with significant snow and dropping snow levels and significant rain and thunder and stuff. And we'd already been through enough hailstorms and stuff. If you saw my video, I think Randall might have, that I did us the night that we had the hailstorm while we were in the camper, in the trailer, camper van. It was pretty crazy. That was in Ohio, I think. But anyway, that's what I've got so far. That I'm starting. Love the black and white, yay. They do help the areas that have been damaged. Yeah. It was the Native American story about Devil's Tower, that there were some Indian maidens who were being chased by a bear, and they prayed to Mother Earth, and she raised them up on top of and raised Devil's Tower to keep the bear out of him. So, but if you look at Devil's Tower, the marks on the side look somewhat like bear claws, but the bear couldn't get to them. But then the 7 maidens couldn't get down anymore. They were stuck up there, and they became, I can't remember. There is a constellation that is right above Devil's Tower that is supposed to be them. Anyway, because Devil's Tower is flat on top. If you climb it, there's a little hut up there where you could go in and sign your name and say you climbed, but it's flat and solid on top. So the idea that it was a volcano that collapsed is kind of crazy because it's flat. There's a couple other nobody really knows what it is. So it's interesting. All the different theories. I kind of like the Native American idea. Anyway, here we go. It's story time. I've got a new camera angle, so for when I read, hopefully I will be able to give a little better eye contact with you while I'm reading, but I'm just a little person anyway, and the story is what counts. Tonight, the book I have for you guys is, let me get it back to the beginning here. Come on. I have to be careful about this because I down Out Cold, a Little Bruce book by Ryan T. Higgins. Ryan Higgins is an amazing author. We've read his other things, his other Bruce books. And Bruce is just as grumpy in this one. But I thought since I was recovering from a cold, this kind of would go with that. Out Cold, a Little Bruce book by Ryan Higgins. Let's see, what did he do for the illustrations? Illustrations were created using scans of treated clay board for textures, graphite, ink, and Photoshop. Okay, that's pretty fascinating. Treated clay board. All right, which one of you guys is going to try that? Out Cold. It is wintertime in Soggy Hollow, and there are lots of fun things to do outside. But Bruce is not outside. He is inside with a cold. And the mice are inside too. Oh. Look at they have they have a box of Legos and a ukulele. One has a ladder, a saxophone, cymbals. What else do they have? All kinds of stuff. Oh, Bruce does not look thrilled. But not for long.
It was so nice of Bruce to send us outside to play in the snow,
says Nibs. The mice do all their favorite wintry things.
Bruce would love making a snow family.
Bruce would love skating.
Bruce would love jumping.
They miss Bruce. But the mice have an idea. They will bring the wintry fun inside to Bruce.
Bruce, come look at what we made for you.
Ta-da! Our snow family.
Where did it go? Says Thistle. They were all right here. I think you're standing on Snow Bruce's eyebrow,
says Rupert.
Right this way, says Rupert. Let's enjoy the graceful art of ice skating. As you can see, we flooded the bathroom and left all the windows open so the floor can freeze into a skating ring. Wait, come back. You need your skates.
That's right, Bruce. Keep coming. This way to try the ski jump.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Crash. Oh. All that fun sure tuckered you out, Bruce. What Bruce really needs, says Nibs, is a cozy blanket and a hot drink.
Feeling better, Bruce?
Inside or outside, winter is a time for togetherness and sharing. Achoo!
I'd rather be hibernating.
The end. Bruce hasn't gotten to hibernate since he met the first, remember the birds, the first birds he met that he had when he was going to make roast duck, I think it was. Poor Bruce. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Randall, that is one of the things that they say that an ice glacier that created that my iconic mountain. But it's interesting because apparently, and according to whatever I've read too, there's several different theories on it. One is the ice glacier, one is volcano, another is something else that's a thing, and it's just kind of funny that just the way it is. But it is pretty amazing to see in person, and it's a wonderful place. Like if you ever get a chance to go out there, the KOA is a great place to stay. And if you don't have a tent or a camper or a trailer, KOA always has cabins that you can rent, camping cabins. And that's an experience in and of itself. And literally the the front door of the KOA, the registration is the parking lot. You leave their parking lot and you're at the gate of the national park. It's that close. Um, and it was just a delight. One of the things to watch for when you go to Devil's Tower, though, is it is a time that they have limited parking up on above. So there's a traffic light halfway up the road. They have one of those portable traffic lights, and it holds you, and it only lets 3 or 4 cars in at a time. So it lets 3 or 4 cars in as 3 or 4 cars come out. So people have to come out before this. But there are shuttles from down below that where you can leave your own vehicle and get a shuttle and go up, which is, in a lot of these places, it's a lot better to do that. And I suppose if you're at Glacier and you want to do the road to the sun, taking one of their shuttles is an option, is a way to do it. You just that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother story. Road to the Sun is phenomenal. It is beautiful. It is limited to vehicles that are no wider than 8 feet from mirror to mirror, edge to edge of the mirrors, no taller than 10 feet, no longer than 21 feet from the front of the bumper to the back of whatever you've got, whether a bumper, hitch, or anything else. And that is pushing it. We're a 19-foot camper van, and we're about 6.5 feet wide. And there were parts there where I was trying to breathe in so that we didn't scrape the ledges. And because if you didn't scrape the ledge, the other side was a drop off that was like crazy. Yeah. It was quite the road. It was quite the road. It was beautiful, but boy, not for the faint of heart. Not for the faint of heart. No. Anyway, so more about that. So as you can see, I'm starting to gather things. I've just started to download some of the photos I took. I organized the videos because I took about 1,800 video clips on the road trip back in different places while in the car and stuff. So I have a plan to go with that, so I can put them together. And I think I'm going to do like little voiceovers with stories that go with them. Who knows? We'll see. That was a Doc's idea yesterday. And anyway, but I'm glad to be back. I hope you liked the story about Bruce. I'm with Bruce. Hibernating sounds great. Yeah. got the bear. I drove the road to Hana after that. Nothing is no, Linda. Linda, I've done the road to Hana. I've done the entire road to Hana. The front side, back side, done it a couple times. I've done the North Cascades Highway. I've done the Highway 1 in California from top to bottom. I've done Chinook Pass and all the passes. I've done some dang scary roads. I've done Forest Service roads in a Jeep that really weren't meant for anybody not doing off-roading kind of stuff, and they were pretty steep, that washed out, and roads that had warnings. You can take all of those roads I've done, Hana, Highway 1, all of those, everything else. You put them together and multiply it by about a factor of 10, and you might get the road to the sun. It was built in 1929. Some of the tunnels were done in that time. There are 1,000-foot drop-offs 2 inches away from your wheels. There is, I took video and I took pictures. It is, oh my gosh. So that'll put together, it was like one of those things that because we went over, and you could go over that, and then you could turn around and come back over it. Instead of coming back over, which would have put us next to the wall on one side, but then on the cliff side for the rest of it. Instead of do that, we opted for adding another hour and a half, 2 hours to our drive to go around rather than go back over. Yeah, I just was like, okay, I've done that. Phew, man. Anyway, but it was still so much fun, man. Poor Bob. I was gripping my hand. In fact, I was gripping my handle so much my arm hurt the next day. Oh well. Anyway, you guys, that was it for Story and Art tonight. I've got more coming up on Thursday. I'll be back with more. Hopefully, I will have everything straightened up, put together. Aldo will be better, and things will be. I'll be picking things up and getting back into my routine. But we are here for the duration for this fall and winter. It's nice. We might do little day trips out and about, but don't plan on any big adventures again. I think the girls are, we might see them at Christmas. I might take a couple day trip down to Eugene to go see those guys. Miss that, half the grandkids. But until next time, everybody, thank you so much for being here. It is always such a delight to have this time with my bucket filling brigade. As always, I hope this filled your bucket a little bit, because you know what? It sure fills mine. So until next time, everyone, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your mirror. Don't forget to hit that like button. And Shayna Howard, there's Shayna. How you doing? Oh my gosh, I saw you earlier today on Caroline's. Yay! Shayna is an amazing crafter. She does cards and all kinds of stuff like that. Thanks, Randall and Tamara and Linda and Shayna and Lupe for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could